Have you ever seen a small misunderstanding turn into a big problem? And what if one smart idea could fix everything? This is a story of intelligence, patience, and perfect timing. Long ago, in the great Vijayanagara Empire, there lived a powerful and respected king, Krishnadeva Raya. He was not only a brave ruler, but also a talented poet. One day, the king wrote a poem. He was very proud of it. He went to his court and started reciting it. But the ministers didn't understand the poem. Still, they pretended to like it. Later that evening, the king went to his queen and began reading the same poem. The queen had a long and tiring day. As the king continued reading, she suddenly yawned. Not once, but a few times. The king immediately stopped. He felt insulted. "You don't respect my poetry," he said angrily. The queen tried to explain, but the king was too hurt. From that day, he stopped talking to her completely. Days passed. The palace became silent. The queen felt sad and helpless. She didn't mean any disrespect, but now a small misunderstanding had turned into a big conflict. Finally, she decided to ask for help. She went to the wisest man in the court, Tenali Rama. Tenali Rama listened carefully. He understood the problem, but instead of directly explaining, he made a clever plan. The next day, in the royal court, he brought a plate full of paddy seeds. He stood before the king and said, "Your Majesty, I have discovered very special seeds. These seeds can give 3 times more crops." Everyone in the court was surprised. The king asked, "What is so special about them?" Tenali Rama replied, "These seeds will grow perfectly, but only if the person who sows them never yawns." The entire court became silent. The king thought for a moment. Then suddenly, he himself yawned. The whole court noticed. Tenali Rama smiled and said, "Your Majesty, is there anyone in the world who never yawns? Yawning is natural. It doesn't mean disrespect." The king froze. He immediately understood his mistake. He remembered how he got angry at the queen just because she yawned. He realized he had overreacted. That same evening, the king went to the queen. With a soft voice, he said, "I'm sorry. I misunderstood you." The queen smiled. The misunderstanding ended, and once again, the palace was filled with happiness. Tenali Rama's intelligence had saved the situation. This story teaches us something very simple. Not everything is disrespect. Sometimes it's just human nature. And intelligence is not about arguing. It's about solving problems wisely. So next time, before getting angry, think twice, because sometimes a small misunderstanding can be solved with a little wisdom. Have you ever felt alone, even when you were surrounded by people? Have you ever tried to talk, but no one really listened? This story is not just about 2 people. It's about what happens when a human being feels completely invisible. On a quiet Sunday afternoon in Central Park, New York, a man named Peter was sitting on a bench enjoying his day. He was reading a book peacefully. Peter had a stable life, a job, a family, a routine. Everything looked normal. But suddenly, his peaceful moment was interrupted. A stranger approached him. His name was Jerry. Without any introduction, Jerry said, "I've been to the zoo." Peter looked up, confused. He didn't understand why a random man would start a conversation like that. At first, Peter tried to ignore him, but Jerry didn't go away. He kept talking. Jerry started asking personal questions. "Do you have a family? Do you like your life? Are you happy?" Peter became uncomfortable. He didn't want to answer, but slowly he got pulled into the conversation. Jerry was not normal. He was intense, restless, almost desperate. It felt like he wasn't just talking, he was searching for something. As the conversation continued, Jerry began to open up. He told Peter about his life. He lived alone, he had no close relationships, his past was full of pain and rejection. He had tried to connect with people, but always failed. Every time he reached out, he felt pushed away. Then, Jerry told a strange story. In his apartment building, there was a dog. At first, the dog hated him. Every time Jerry passed by, the dog would bark and attack him. So Jerry decided to change things. First, he tried kindness. He brought food, tried to be friendly, but the dog still attacked him. Then, Jerry became frustrated. He tried to harm the dog, but even that didn't solve anything. And eventually, something worse happened. They stopped reacting to each other. No love, no hate, no connection. Just silence. Jerry looked at Peter and said, "That's the worst thing, when nothing exists between two beings." This wasn't just about the dog, it was about humans. Sometimes people don't fight, they don't care, they just ignore each other. And that silence is more painful than rejection. As time passed, Jerry became more intense. His tone changed. He started pushing Peter. He challenged him, forced him to defend his space on the bench. What started as a simple conversation turned into a confrontation. Peter became scared, but Jerry didn't stop. It felt like he was forcing something to happen. Suddenly, Jerry took out a knife. Peter froze, but instead of attacking, Jerry threw it toward Peter. Out of fear, Peter picked it up. He didn't know what to do. And then, Jerry ran toward him. Peter tried to protect himself, but in that moment, Jerry stabbed himself. Everything went silent. Peter stood there, shocked. Jerry was dying, but on his face there was no anger, only a strange sense of peace. He looked at Peter and said, "Now you finally reacted. Now we had a real connection." This story is not about violence. It's about what happens when a human being is ignored for too long. Jerry didn't want to die. He wanted to be seen. He wanted to be heard. He wanted to feel something real. But when nothing worked, he created a moment that could not be ignored. Look around. There are people like Jerry everywhere, talking but unheard, living but disconnected, smiling but broken inside. And we ignore them every day. Remember this: loneliness is not about being alone. It's about not being understood. A small conversation can change someone's life. And sometimes, silence hurts more than rejection. So next time someone tries to talk, don't ignore them, because you never know, that small moment might mean everything to them.